Today we're going to look at the worst Madden in history, okay? That's probably an over-exaggeration and it's completely my own opinion, although I can't see that many people disagreeing with me. Madden 13 was awful. And to do this, I had to go and dig up an antiquity, my Xbox 360. That's a complete lie. I didn't have to dig it up. It was just sat there. I just had to plug it in. But still, I haven't been on this since I did a video on Madden 12. And Madden 12 was one of my all-time favorite Maddens. Madden 13, the one after that, where they actually introduced the new physics engine, I think was the absolute worst. And now, let's just see exactly what I thought was so bad about this. So firstly, I feel bad that this was the bad one, because actually they had a pretty good theme, right? It was Calvin Johnson on the cover. They had this pretty cool intro with Ray Lewis about him talking about, you know, everyone doubted him and he was great. We're not going to watch the whole thing, of course. But then this, I just feel like this. The only way I can think to describe it is Madden 13 felt like a Hasbro game. It felt like, you know, something that you'd buy for $10 that was you know, Hot Wheels themed or something. It's just, it felt ugly, it felt awful, and just look at it. I don't understand it. What is football about this? I get it, it's, you know, well, I don't know, what is it, Fox that has similar intros and stuff. It just doesn't fit the game. I don't understand why it's like this. Why is it so electro-spacey? Now, one thing about Madden 13 actually is when I first got Madden 13, excited to play it, of course, I put it into the Xbox, and my Xbox broke. Now, I'm not blaming Madden 13, although now knowing what I know, I would blame Madden 13, but I ended up having to buy an entirely new one. It did actually work and play the game if I had the entire case off, but that's of course not how you're supposed to use it. This is also the game I first played my first year at university. This was the game that was out, so I think I did actually end up putting a reasonable amount of time into a franchise mode, and that of course is what I really want to look at, is my franchise mode. At this point, I don't think I played Ultimate Team. I think Madden 25 was the first time I played Ultimate Team, because I've never really cared that much for online modes on any games really, so I always just like the franchise mode, the stuff like that. So we should be able to find something pretty interesting here, but first of all, I wanted to go over what Madden 13 promises. Now, first of all, better with the Kinect sensor, that it was not, and on the back, physics you can feel, right? This was the first one where they, you know, I'll let you read it too, where they had the new physics engine, and of course that was a huge step. Think about it. Madden 12 was set animations. This one was the one where, you know, Backbreaker was the best physics game to do with football at this point, and then they brought in the physics. Of course, you know, they say no two plays will ever look or feel the same. We know still now on Madden 18, there's plays that look and feel the same. They still have catch animations and stuff like that, so it's not perfect. The new announcing team, Phil Simms and Jim Nantz of CBS Sports, call the action from the booth. No thank you, Phil Simms. Maybe that's why Madden 13 was so bad. Phil Simms on the game. And then, you know, still trying to push the Kinect thing. Anyway, so that's what it is here. I don't know if I've got a favorite team selected or not. If I do, it's either the Bills or Dolphins. Apparently it's the Bills. My favorite team are the Bills. This menu, why make me go through the menu with the right stick? I don't know. I definitely didn't play Ultimate Team. We're not online anyway to take a look. So, of course, the only thing we can do is resume an offline career, and that's what I would have done anyway. Let's see. Hopefully there's something here. If there's not. So, we've got plenty of saves to choose from. The last one, I don't know if this is creation date or the last edited date, but the 15th of the 12th. I apparently gave up on this game, or at least gave up on creating new careers in December. We'll start with the latest one. I seem to remember this game, I feel like I had a Broncos career. I know I at one point had a Broncos career where I played on a pretty low difficulty and just racked up stats on everyone, and Julius Thomas and a couple of other guys before they were actually good. I ended up getting decent stats on other things, but let's see what happens here. We are in week 4 of the 2012 season, so this is not one we really use. I don't even know what team we are. See, this is the thing. What a terrible interface. I can't even tell what team I am just being sat here at the base. We are the Buccaneers. It's interesting. Greg Schiano, that's... I don't know, there's nothing going to have happened in this one, week 4. We won't have changed anything. Let's take a look at another save. Season 2012, week 6. Who are we this time? Let's take a look. We're the Patriots in this one. Interesting. We went 6 weeks deep with the Patriots, and apparently we re-signed someone. We got a contract extension for Julian Edelman. That's A bunch of contract extensions apparently. That's all we did in this one. Here we go. Here's a better one. We've got ourselves 2012 Week 14. Who are we with? With the Kansas City Chiefs. I have absolutely no memory of this whatsoever. Let's see how we've done. Look at this. This is just an awful interface. I don't even know where to go to find out how we've done in this season. This is just so bad. 6-7. Donovan McNabb is our quarterback. All right, so... Oh no, Matt Castle actually is. I don't know what's going on here. This is crazy. I have zero memory of this. This is how I felt about the game. We're in Week 14. Jamal Charles has got himself 1,400 rushing yards. Peyton Hillis on the team as well in this one. That is great. Receiving, Dwayne Bowe, 1,285. Kevin Boss. Look at these players. I mean, you want to talk about irrelevances. There's a lot of them here. Let's see what we've got on defense. What kind of play? Eric Berry, of course. John Belcher, Justin Houston, Jerry. So obviously there's good players here. And Justin Houston, although he was, I think, terribly rated in Madden 12, will have already got his stat boost in this one. We'll take a look at the roster. Let's take a look at how good actually some of these players are. We've got Dontari Poe. I forget when people come into the league. He doesn't seem to have been around for 6 years at this point. Like, where do I go for my depth chart? I actually don't know where I go for the depth chart. I am here in the main menu, and it starts off with the news. I liked having a whole page for the news, to be fair. I enjoy... But obviously having that as the main thing is a bit ridiculous. Now, where do I go? I want to change my depth chart. I have to go into more. I have to, well, obviously, it won't be in statistics. Strategy? What? That would be a personnel, won't it? But is it even? Oh, there's the depth chart. I pressed on roster, but it doesn't actually matter. We'll do us just as well. So our best player, Dwayne Bowe, 94 rated. Let's take a look at quarterback. We had Donovan McNabb and Matt Castle 78-80. I want to know how good Justin Houston was at this point, because of course, yeah, so he was pretty, still, think about that, 82 overall, of course, does not describe him very well. So we got one, the Chiefs, apparently, and we went into Week 14 at 6-7, and not a career I finished. Let's find another one. Here we are, Week 4 of this one. We won't take a look at this one. We'll just take a quick look at who we're with. The Seattle Seahawks, so... interesting one there. Okay, now we're going into September. September 28th, we started this one, and still not found a full one. I could swear I played a full season, and I thought it was with the Broncos on this one. Did I try something with the Lions at one point? I just don't remember. Who are we with here? The Dolphins. So it's week 2 of the 2012 season. That's not interesting. It's Joe Philbin, the head coach. So this one, theoretically, we had a week with this one before we started this next one. So a good chance that we maybe did something here. A week's a long enough time when you're at university and have nothing better to do. I don't remember when I actually started there. We're in week 9 here. So in a week, we played 9 games with the Colts. That's who it was on this one. I think this is the one I remember. I remember Brazil was a decent enough wide receiver for us. I think T.Y. Hilton was terribly rated on this. Let's take a look. We'll do roster again. Actually, no, we won't do roster. I want to see depth chart because I want to know who I was using as starters and stuff. So, of course, Andrew Luck, the rookie. That's probably, you know, can't blame anybody for using the Colts on Madden 13. Donald Brown, the running back. Vic Ballard. I used Vic Ballard quite a decent amount, and he did well for me. I liked playing with him, and then he almost had a half-decent season one year and got injured. But outside of that, I remember Lavon Brazil played half decent for me. T.Y. Hilton's only a 64 rated. So you see there's a little bit of a wrinkle there. I knew we'd find someone like that eventually. A 64 rated T.Y. Hilton. Dwayne Allen only 67 rated. So this is turning out to be a decent one. Let's not take a look at the offensive line. The thing is, the way I always played this, I never made any changes in the first season. Didn't bother trying to do anything. I can't remember which one it was. There was one where you could always pick up O'Hara. He was a free agent that year. You could always pick him up, highly rated. You can trade him to any team for a first round pick. That's something I always used to do. It wasn't 13 though. That might have been 12, might have been 11, I don't remember. The cornerbacks, well, not much there. You're not really going to find anyone really great on this team. I mean, we've already found some guys who ended up being good, but outside of those, you're not going to find anybody on this 2012 Colts roster. Well, that's it already. So, you see, this is classic me with Andrew Luck. We've thrown 30 interceptions. That is mad. I am ashamed of myself for that one. So, what have we done receiving-wise? Reggie Wayne, of course, and our T.Y. Hilton, we did pick up 500 yards with him. I thought Lavon Brazil did okay with us. Apparently not, unless we've got a secret, you know, career mode I haven't touched yet, but why would this be created after this? So, week 9. So, in 9 weeks, we knew. Listen, I knew T.Y. Hilton was going to be something big. let's pretend that's true. This is season 2012, week 2, and if this is the Redskins, we have looked at every single one. My longest career mode on the worst Madden in history, by my own opinion. Now, of course, you can count some old ones are probably pretty terrible that I haven't played and stuff, but in terms of the modern Madden, which I would count from maybe, say, I don't know, I'd put 09 to now in a certain type of category. I'm not sure, you can probably call it at any point. But this 13 definitely fits in with this current generation in that regard because it's got the physics engine and it was without a doubt the absolute worst. I really did like this. I liked the news interface and obviously they kept this for a while. I did like having it all here, the top stories and stuff, very easily viewable. I don't like having to press a button to look at it, but that's the only thing they did right. Everything else they did wrong. Why is the first thing I see the news center? Which, okay, it's good, but it's not the first thing I want to see. Put it on the back where I can scroll to it or something like that. Why is the second thing I see my season goals and my legacy and how much XP I have? Now, of course, you know, maybe they couldn't, maybe they only thought about it to stick it up there out of the way. That's pretty much where your XP stands now. But why are these things, like, I just don't understand why this is top priority. Then I get to play a game. Then we're finally here. I get to go into practice. I get to go into the season game. I can progress players and scout. Third one along. And then if I want to do anything to my depth chart, we're now on the 4th tab. We go 1 level deep. We go 2. That is 6. I have to do 6 things just to be able to. Of course, we went Redskins because of RG3. And Kirk Cousins here, 72 rated. They didn't really think he was that bad, so no hidden gem there. Not quite like T.Y. Hilton, but I've got to go 6 things to get to my depth chart. Nowadays, of course, it's perfect now where it's bumped to the right from where I get to play games and I'm in my depth chart and can make quick changes. You saw I could only go 9 weeks deep and I've made a bunch of them, probably trying to refresh things. One thing I don't know is where is the Broncos career that I know I played? I played with Tim Tebow. Demaryius Thomas, I think, was pretty low rated and we gave him 1,000 yards. Julius Thomas, we gave 1,000 yards. No Sean Moreno, we had as a big time rusher. Raheem Moore was our starting safety. I just remember these things, but I've gone 12, I've gone 13. I know it's got to be around there, obviously, because Tim Tebow's my quarterback. And I just don't know where it is. I can't find it. Maybe. We're going to look at one more. And actually, I know it's not there. I don't know where it's gone. We're going to look at a different one. You know, this is the worst Madden and probably my worst franchise modes. What I also want to do is take a look at not the best Madden. We already looked at that. That's Madden 12 in my opinion. Of course, gameplay you can't compare as engines improve and stuff. But in terms of everything around it, Madden 12 was perfect. That's the best Madden. We've looked at the worst Madden. We've looked at franchise modes on those Maddens. Next up is what I would call my best ever franchise mode.